tonight to his cousin, Ethan. Let her rip there, Phoenix. Nice job.
And Bobcat fans, welcome to Purvis as the Sumrall Bobcats are set to take on the Purvis Tornadoes here in Purvis at Tony Farlow Field. And tonight, I have a special guest with us here in the booth, Mr. Nick Smith. Nick Smith, a Purvis legend, played at Purvis for a long time and went on and was a junior college All-American and went to the College World Series with Southern Miss back in the day. So blessed to have him in the booth tonight. Mr. Nick, what's your thoughts on the game tonight?
Back in the day, that's pretty brutal there, Zane. No, I'm excited to be here, man. I appreciate you having me on. There's nothing like the Sumrall Purvis rivalry, the Battle of 589. It's about as good as it gets in Mississippi as far as baseball goes. So.
That's right. And we have a good one set here tonight. The Sumrall Bobcats, the opposing team here in this matchup, they line up batting first, the center fielder, Caden Williamson. Batting second, the catcher, S.T. Moss. Batting third, the third baseman, Landon Hawkins. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Leo Odom. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Cade Clinton. Batting sixth, the DH, Jack Miller. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Drew Davis. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Kellen Garcia. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Malik McNair. On the mound for the Bobcats tonight will be Braden Smith. Braden Smith's first start of the season. So a very, very unpredicted start for the Bobcats, but we are here and we are live, ready to go. And the first pitch is about to be thrown. The Purvis Tornadoes, their defense lines up. Jacob Parker on the mound tonight for the Tornadoes. He is 2-0 on the season and 26.1 innings pitched with a 2.13 ERA and a 20-8 strikeout to walk ratio. So Caden Williamson, the center fielder, set to lead things off here in the top of the first. He comes into this game hitting .333, has 16 RBIs on the season. Pretty fresh face to the leadoff spot. Nick, you hitting the leadoff spot. What's your thoughts on how important it is to lead the game off and find a way on base?
Leadoff guy's real important. He's got to be patient at the plate, take some pitches, drive the count up. It sets a tone for the entire game for the team. So the leadoff spot is a tough spot, but probably one of the most important spots, in the lineup, I would say.
Absolutely. I know you know this statistic, but it's probably the leadoff man scores 40% of the time if they get on base.
I do not know that statistic, but I'll trust you on that one. It sounded made up.
Well, maybe you did not. That wasn't the case when you played here at Purvis, but and that one driven to right field, but the right fielder camps under it for out number one. So Jacob Parker, after 3 pitches, gets the first out of the inning. That'll bring up S.T. Moss, the catcher. The catcher comes into this game with 7 doubles on the season, hitting .288. Yeah, I don't know if that was the case for you, Nick, but, here in Sumrall, if the leadoff man gets on, it's usually about 40% of the time they score.
Well, it looks like you're not scoring in this inning.
And that one, it's going to be a tough play for Turner over there at third. And he throws it, and a short play over there by the third baseman, Cannon Turner.
Great play.
And so 2 up, 2 down for the Bobcats to start this game. That'll bring up the power hitting righty, Landon Hawkins. Landon Hawkins hitting .343 on the season. He is tied for first with home runs at 3 home runs. And he turns on that one and drives it in the 6th hole. So the Bobcats trying to rally here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Landon Hawkins reaches first base. And that'll bring up Leo Odom, the first baseman.
Next batter, number 4, first baseman, Leo Odom.
So Landon Hawkins stands at first base. Leo Odom in the box. And he takes that pinch outside from Jacob Parker. Odom also tied at first in home runs with 3. He comes into this game hitting .292, 9 doubles, leads the team in doubles. So an extra base hit guy for this Bobcat lineup. So the 1-1 count. A very special place here, Nick. You can just feel the energy in the air when you walk into the stadium.
Oh man, the crowd is, packed for a high school baseball game, and I came walking up and the Sweet Emotions soundtrack came on for the infield, and it brought back a lot of memories that from when I played here. So it's a special place, and it looks better than it did whenever I played here. They've done a great job with the place.
Right, and Sumrall and Purvis will always have that rivalry, but both fan bases can say each place has a fantastic atmosphere, and I would say both towns have a love for baseball that is unmatched.
Absolutely. I mean, Lamar County itself is just a hotbed for baseball, and I mean, as far as the rivalry goes, you got the same district, same county. Kind of all of it kind of goes together and makes this one probably one of the best in the state. As far as two teams hating each other but respecting each other at the same time.
Right. And Nick, I want to ask you, and that one driven to left field, and it is going to be. And he camps under the warning track and makes a run for it and grabs it out in left field. So that will be out number 3 on the inning. And, Nick, we will follow up with that question after the break. So the Bobcats, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. And we head into the bottom half of the inning. This is Zane Berry, and you are listening to the Bobcat Baseball Network. So we are back live here in Purvis as we start the bottom of the first inning. JoJo Parker, the Mississippi State commit for this Tornadoes lineup, set to lead things off. Him and his twin brother, Jacob Parker, both going to Mississippi State. Some very talented kids. And the Purvis Tornadoes will line up. Batting first, shortstop JoJo Parker. Batting second, the pitcher, Jacob Parker. Batting first, the first baseman, Drew Swan. Batting fourth, the DH, Hudson Walker. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Cannon Turner. Batting sixth, the catcher, Ethan Walker. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Austin Lawler. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Eli Lowe. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Paxton Cooper. And Braden Smith on the mound for the Bobcats tonight, his first start of the season. And he is down 1-1 here against Jacob Parker. A very exciting start for your first start, I would say. Nick, wouldn't you think this is...
Yeah, he's getting thrown into the line stand a little bit. I have to watch who I root for here. I'm a Purvis guy, and this is my nephew on the mound for Sumrall. So I don't know who I'm rooting for today. I'm going to just be an unbiased announcer, I think.
You have to decide if it's going to be trouble leaving the field or Thanksgiving.
That's right, exactly.
One of the two. So you got to pick your poison. But
I'm proud of Braden. He's a good kid and a good athlete, so he'll do just fine, man. So hopefully he throws a one hit, one run loss. You know, he has a good outing. But
well, you are on the Bobcat Baseball Network here, Nick. So we're gonna hope that it's a 1-0 win for the Bobcats.
No, I hope he has a great night. But.
Well, JoJo Parker works the count full here to lead off things in the bottom of the first inning. A pretty short field here at Purvis, and a lineup that can really turn on some balls.
You know, we always heard that at Purvis that this was a short porch, and I think it maybe psychs the other team out a little bit because there weren't a lot of home runs hit against us. I think everybody's just trying to hit it out, and it just doesn't carry as well, you know.
I can't tell if it's the fence that's deceiving because it doesn't say the footage on the fence, but the tall fence all the way around the field makes it look a little shorter than it is, in my opinion.
I'm pretty sure it's like 330 all the way around. I think you just don't have those bigger gaps in this park. I think that's why it looks smaller, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, 330 is a pretty good size.
But not in the right center and left center gap. That's not very deep.
No, that's not deep at all in the right center and left center field gap. So JoJo Parker walks to start things off for Purvis here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up his twin brother, the pitcher for the Tornadoes, Jacob Parker. Jacob Parker comes in this game hitting .492. He's got 7 doubles and 4 home runs on the season for the Tornadoes. So a very, very powerful lineup. They're top 2 in the lineup, at least, for this Tornado offense.
Yeah, there's some special talent on the field today. I mean, you got the 2 Parker boys, and you get a few guys on Sumrall's team, and the catcher for Purvis. I've been hearing good things about him. So I mean, there's definitely some star power and people that are going to play for a good while that are playing tonight. So.
Right, and standing on first right now, the Egg Bowl matchup. First baseman committed to Ole Miss, and then Jacob Parker on first with the lead, committed to Mississippi State. So that might be a matchup we'll be watching for a long time. You know,
see that for a while. What do you think the odds are that we could flip all these guys to Southern Miss?
I mean, with the way NIL is now, I think it's going to change the game, Nick. Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, you're doing all right for yourself. Just open your wallet up, and we'll make that happen.
Brother, you ain't seen my wallet. I'm getting married here soon. And a big swing and a miss by Jacob Parker. So Braden filling the zone up here after a leadoff walk. And the Bobcats shifted pull side pretty heavily. You can see a lot of movement on that changeup. Let's see if he throws it again, and he does, and he strikes out Jacob Parker for out number 1.
You can hear the Sumrall student section over there chirping a little bit.
And that's always fun when the entire town of Sumrall is chirping at you, telling you to step left and right.
There's nothing better than playing in an environment like this, though. It's just great. As long as it stays clean, it's as good as it gets, man.
Now, Nick, let me ask you this. You're one of the very few people I know that play in the College World Series. If you could go back, would you rather play at Tony Farlow Field one last time, South State Championship, or would you rather go to Omaha?
Man, I think I would have to say the South State Championship at Purvis. I mean, you just can't beat the high school baseball, man. You just can't beat it.
You cannot beat it. But
enjoyed both, but this place has a special place in my heart.
And I think it'd be crazy. And Braden almost gets him on the pickoff at first. He got caught stealing, or at least leaning, but he gets himself back. The hitter for the Purvis Tornadoes now number 22, the first baseman, Drew Swan. Swan hitting .399 on the season with 2 doubles. Looks like a fresh face to the lineup for the Tornadoes. And he is down 0-2 here in the bottom of the first. And that one driven to right field. Cade Clinton camps under it for out number 2. So after a leadoff walk, Braden Smith able to get a strikeout and a flyout to make it 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And now the hitter for the Tornadoes, Hudson Walker. Hudson Walker hitting .311 with 4 doubles on the season. So 2 outs. Braden Smith, after a leadoff walk, has really found a groove here in the strike zone. And here he goes. And Parker steals a great throw by Most. And they call him safe at second. Davis thought he got him on the tag, but the umpire says differently as he beat it.
Yeah, the jump was just better than the throw. The throw was there. He just got to get a lead.
That was a good jump, and you can see that with those very good baseball players. They just have a twitch that gets them a step ahead, and one step on stealing a bag is a big difference.
It makes a difference in safe round most of the time.
And that one barely misses on the inside part of the plate. That'll bring the count to 1-1. And that one, it's going to be trouble. It hits the mound. Davis going to make a good play, and he does for out number 3.
What a play.
And
what a play.
That's when you can see the glove of the freshman shortstop, Drew Davis. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on for the Purvis Tornadoes, and we are headed to the top of the second inning. This is Zane Berry, and we will be back on the Bobcat Baseball Network. So we are back here in the top of the second inning. Cade Clinton, the really hot bat for the Sumrall Bobcats this far in the season, set to lead things off. Clinton hitting .356, 4 doubles, and 3 home runs. And, a lot of that has come in these district games. He has really caught fire and seeing the ball very well.
I mean, two great infield plays to start the game. One from Purvis and one from Sumrall. I mean, that's flashing some leather on the infield.
And you know that's the plays that are going to separate who wins and loses this game. Because I mean, if Drew doesn't make that play right there, it's runners at first and third, 2 outs, and who knows what can happen there. The 1-1 misses inside. The 85-mile-an-hour fastball from Jacob Parker. So a 2-1 count on Clinton. And the pitch. Jacob Parker slips on the mound. Looks like he got hurt pretty good.
He is limping a little bit.
And you know, you hear about the twins from Purvis a lot and which one's better, and I don't care which one's better. Both of them are good. You know, they're both.
Yeah, they're both solid players.
And a leadoff walk for Cade Clinton to set things aboard here in the top of the second inning. And let's see if that statistic I gave you earlier is true. Leadoff man, on with no outs. That'll bring up Jack Miller.
40% of the time, I think is what you said, correct?
40% of the time. And you know, it might be higher than that. I would have to text Coach Knight on that. He used to preach it. And the breaking ball catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. Here against Miller.
Now, Zane, did you enjoy playing in this rivalry here?
You know, this was pretty much the 1 week I looked forward to every single season. You know, fortunately, I played 4 seasons on the varsity team, and I wasn't very good my freshman year, but we played here, and Purvis hit a walk-off home run against us that game, and I can still remember it like it was yesterday.
They stick with you for sure. That's why they become a rivalry. It's amazing. It really is. Just these two teams and how the history between the two and how good they both have been for the past 20 years, I'd say.
I would like to see how many at least South State championships have come out of Purvis and Sumrall in the last 20 years.
It's in the double digits. No question.
I mean, this is the heart and soul of South Mississippi baseball. Miller down on a 1-2 count, and he fights off a fastball, just fighting for his life, and fouls it out of play down the right field line. So Jack Miller hitting .309 on the season. He's hitting for the pitcher, Braden Smith. And the 1-2 pitch. And that one misses up. That one just barely missed up. And that's a pitch Jacob Parker's probably lucky they didn't swing at. You know, a hanging breaking ball.
Leave that thing up a little bit.
It looked like a really good pitch. And Miller pokes this one over to the second baseman, and he makes a good play for out number 1.
That's a productive out.
And that is a very productive at-bat. Let's see, with 1-2 count, is able to move the runner. And that brings up the freshman, Drew Davis, who we saw make a fantastic play at the end of the last inning.
And both of these teams want to score first. You want to put the pressure on the other side. It always, I think it's 60% of the time, if you score first, you're going to win, Zane. I think that might be the statistic that you're referring to.
I don't know. We got 90 feet there on the out. Drew Davis hitting .311 with 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And Nick, you can attest to this. I've seen him play every game. He does not look like a freshman.
He does not. And I was thinking that just then. I've heard a lot about Drew over the past 2 years, and it seems like when you hear about a guy like that, when you see him play, you don't expect him to be a freshman if you've heard about him for a while, but he definitely does not look like a freshman.
Right.
He was bigger than I was when I was a senior, I can promise you.
I've said the same thing multiple times this season. Davis looks the part and definitely plays the part as the starting shortstop and arguably the ace for this Bobcat team on the mound. He played for Team USA this summer, won a gold medal, and he's hitting .311 this season, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And, Nick, if I had to take a wild guess, you didn't sniff the fence when you were a freshman.
I didn't sniff the field when I was a freshman. I don't even think I got to practice on the field.
But, no, he is definitely an important piece for this Bobcat team, and he's got a chance to make a big impact on his freshman season right here in this at-bat. But he takes strike number 2 on the outside part of the plate.
I watched him pitch last year one time, I think, and it looks like he's grown 3 inches and put on about 20 pounds.
He works hard, I can tell you that. I know you can't work hard on height, but the weight, he has busted it in the weight room during the off season, and he does this year round. I mean, this is his life. And he hammers that one to center field. And then back. Gone! Drew Davis. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Drew Davis has just left the yard here in the top of the second inning. So after we just sat here and talked about how he could make a legacy, he drives one over the left field wall to make the score 2-0 here in Purvis.
It was a great swing.
And you saw him choke up and had a whole different approach with 2 strikes, and you see it work there as he put it over there by the foul pole in left center field.
I would say there are a lot of home runs hit with a 2-strike count just for the simple fact you choke up and you just put the barrel on it.
And you just simple things up, and that's what he did there. And I hate to tell you, Nick, but the leadoff man scored. So I'm 100% on the night. So, well, 50.
We'll calculate it up at the end and see if that 40 works.
But Coach Tony Farlow heads to the mound to calm Jacob Parker down, and we will be back after the break. So Kellen Garcia steps in the box now for the Bobcats, the second baseman. He's a new face in the lineup. He drives this one over to the second baseman, and Eli Lowe makes easy work of it for out number 2. And if you're Coach Tony Farlow, that's what you want to see after giving up a home run, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, you want to see a quick rebound and get you got to settle down. 2 runs isn't going to kill you. You gotta score at least 1 to win anyway. So.
Right, and I think that's what you got to preach is we got to score anyways. You might as well. I imagine the nerves are out now after giving up 2 runs. You can kind of settle down now and play the game like it's always played. I mean, these kids have been playing against each other for 15 years now.
Oh yeah, and they're good baseball players. They know that's part of it. As a pitcher, you're going to give up home runs no matter how good you are. So he's going to rebound and throw strikes and get some outs.
And Malik McNair steps into the box for the Bobcats. He's got a 2-1 count now. Malik McNair, a very speedy runner. He is the left fielder tonight. Him and Braylon Harrison kind of switch out over there in left field, and he is the starter tonight here in Purvis. And he hammers this one down the left field line, and it's going to be a 2-out single. So the Bobcats finding a groove here offensively here in the second inning.
Like a little curveball he kind of left hanging again there.
Yep, and, you got to be cautious of that. And I can't remember if that pitch Drew hit over the fence was a curveball or a fastball.
I think it was a fastball Drew hit. But he's left that curveball up a couple times tonight. So.
And Ethan Walker, the catcher, a very, very impressive catcher behind the plate. So I don't know if they're going to test him here with McNair's speed at first or not.
2 outs, 1 strike, I would say that you could probably think he's going to go. He was leaning, so I think he was going.
You also got to think, top of the lineup. You don't want to get yourself out here. I mean, this is the part of the lineup you want to be in.
Well, my thought is I would rather try to get the second, get in scoring position. If he gets thrown out, you got the top of the lineup coming back up
Right.
in the third. So.
Right. I mean, I guess I'm a big small ball guy. I like to steal. I like the bunt.
Oh yeah, that was my game. I'm a huge fan of that.
And I think that's where you can really utilize it here with 1-2 count, especially a breaking ball count. I would imagine he's probably stealing right here. But Caden Williamson stands in, the leadoff hitter for the Bobcats. He's 0 for 1 on the night. He doesn't go.
I would think that I would send him here just to, get some pressure on him, and you get your leadoff guy back up with a fresh count next inning if he does get thrown out. So.
Right. And Caden Williamson, if he does get thrown out on a ball, he would be able to hit, again with a fresh new count. And he has been very reliable for this Bobcat offense. And he fouls that one off. So just battling up there is Williamson. And the count stays at 1-2, 2 outs. Jacob Parker trying to get his team back into the dugout.
It feels like it's been even though it's only 2 runs, it feels like it has been a long inning.
It does feel that way, and 2 hits. Feels like this Bobcat offense has really found a groove. Then you look up there, only 2 hits. That's a big momentum when you can feel it. And Caden Williamson turns on this one, and it's put in the gap. And looks like the outfielders camp under it for out number 3. So Caden Williamson tried to give it a ride, but instead it's caught by the left fielder. So the Bobcats put on 2 runs by a Drew Davis home run. And the Bobcats lead 2-0. Braden Smith set to take the mound here in the bottom of the second inning. This is Zane Berry, and you are listening to the Bobcat Baseball Network. So Braden Smith back on the mound for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the second inning. He's set to lead things off for the Tornadoes. Cannon Turner, the third baseman. Cannon Turner comes into this game hitting 284 with 6 doubles and a home run, and he makes this one is going to be trouble. He may have beat it, but they call him out. So a good play over there by Davis in the 6 hole for out number 1.
He's a great pitcher, but watching him play shortstop, I'm not sure that pitching is his position.
I've said that to multiple people. I think, of course, I'm impressed by a freshman throwing 89 on the mound with good command, but his glove is more impressive to me than anything.
He is smooth over there, and then you top it off with a home run.
Right. You have been impressed tonight. And the windup by Smith misses low. So back-to-back breaking balls against the catcher, Ethan Walker.
I think Braden, he just needs to fill the zone up at this point. You got to lead, just, coast on through.
And, in a big start like this, and for Braden, it is very important to have that 2-0 lead.
Absolutely.
You can relax a little bit where you don't feel like you're walking on pins and needles, and especially in your first one of the season.
I think this may be his first start ever, correct?
This very well may be his first start ever. This is my only first year doing this, and I didn't do research on last year. But I would not be surprised if this wasn't his first start ever. And, this could not be a bigger game to have it. Ethan Walker, 209 on the season, but he's got 4 home runs. He had a monster season last season.
He had a great year last year.
So only 209 kind of threw me off, but he draws a walk here with 1 out.
Is Ethan a senior this year?
I believe he is a junior.
Junior.
And I had a down year my junior year, just like he's having after a big sophomore year.
Baseball's a funny game, man. It will humble you real quick.
You can hit the ball hard to somebody every at bat, and go 0 for 4 on a night. Braden Smith walks him here with 1 out, and that's going to be a tough play. And, I think the bag saved him there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be able to make a play, possibly. Still going to be a tough one. But.
It was going to be a tough one, and that's going to be a 1-out hit for Austin Lawler.
And it's funny, me sitting up here, I hear all these kids' names that are coming up to bat, and I know their parents well. It's kind of show my age a little bit. Makes me feel a little bit older.
I haven't got to that point yet. But, I do know these kids. Braden and Drew, I've grown up with them and seen them grow up, and it's bittersweet to see them out there and playing very well. But Braden Smith, let's see how he reacts here. He's got runners at first and second now. Eli Lowe in the box for the Tornadoes. The 1-0 pitch. And this is outside. So this might be where you see the little bit of lack of experience on the mound. Just a high pressure situation.
You start pressing a little bit, and he just got to do what he's doing right now, slow it down, and regroup. And he'll be just fine.
I think he is very, very composed on the mound every time he's pitched so far this season. He came in a big situation against Forest County a few weeks ago, and this might be big for him. But it just goes out of play. So Eli Lowe, the hitter for the Tornadoes. He is hitting .211 on the season with a double and 3 RBIs for the Tornadoes. But just like we said with Drew, he has a good opportunity to cement his name here in this matchup tonight.
And Eli's a good pitcher as well. Is he Purvis's ace, if I'm not mistaken? Or am I wrong about that?
I think you're right on that. I imagine he'll pitch at
Sumrall on Friday.
Sumrall on Friday night. He is a very impressive arm, has a lot of pitches and throws a lot of strikes. But Braden Smith, a big strikeout here, a 1 out to make it 2 outs. And that is what you want to see if you're Coach Davis. Runners at first and second, and Braden Smith able to get a strikeout to bring it to 2 outs. And he's 1 pitch away from getting this Bobcat team into the dugout. The 9-hole hitter for the Purvis Tornadoes, Paxton Cooper. And he throws that one on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. And, this is a big opportunity for Paxton Cooper. He's got JoJo Parker on deck.
Yeah, he needs to turn this lineup over. That would be huge for Purvis to have your 2 best hitters, coming back up with runners on base and runners in scoring position.
In 2 outs, you win ball games on 2 out runs.
Oh yeah, situational hitting it wins and loses ball games. If you can't drive those runners in on second with 2 outs, you get away with it sometimes, but most of the time it comes back to bite you.
Braden Smith got Cooper here down 1-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. And the 1-2 pitch just misses up. A good miss there by Braden. That brings the count to 2-2. So 2s all the way across the board. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A runner on first and second. Paxton Cooper trying to get things back to the top of the order. And he's got a good opportunity here. The count is full, and the runners will be stealing on this pitch. So if he is to get a base hit, it will at least score 1.
Walk loads the bases with JoJo coming up.
Could be a very dangerous spot for Braden Smith. And he inside moves to second.
I like that. See if they were going to be in motion, catch them sleeping.
And they're going on the pitch. And a good pitch, but it just misses outside for ball 4. So that loads the bases for the shortstop, JoJo Parker.
Now, this is a big moment in the game here, for sure.
And a big opportunity for Braden Smith to show what he's got on the mound, and a big opportunity for JoJo Parker to possibly take the lead here in the bottom of the second. So 2 outs. And Braden Smith misses away on the first pitch.
Get a little visit, calm him down a little bit.
Looks like he may have crossed the catcher up on that pitch. Well, that brings the count to 1-0 here against JoJo Parker. JoJo Parker came into this game hitting .520 with 4 doubles and 4 home runs so far on the season. And he walked his first at-bat. This is a guy you do not want to throw to, and you're almost in a situation you have to throw to him.
Yeah, you got a high contact hitter with power, and that's always a bad thing with the bases loaded. I like that, almost got him there.
And it just missed him in the left-handed batter's box. So the count goes to 3-0, 2 outs. Braden Smith just trying to find the strike zone again here in the bottom of the second. But he finds it there. And, you know, honestly, I might give JoJo Parker the green light there.
I would have given him the green light 3-0. But it's early in the game. You know, he was struggling finding the strike zone there. You want to see if he can actually throw you a strike.
And that one, a called strike on the inside part of the plate. So things have changed after starting the at-bat. 3-0. It's now 3-2. The runners will be stealing on the pitch. So a base hit will score 2, at least. So JoJo Parker versus Braden Smith, the 3-2 pitch. And it just misses outside. So they walk in a run.
And the guy you got to face next, you don't want to face him either. So.
No, it doesn't get any better from there. Jacob Parker, but Jacob is 0 for 1 with a strikeout tonight. And looks like
a mound visit.
Now the third base coach is talking to Jacob Parker, maybe trying to calm him down. I don't know what he'd be telling him there. I mean, he's hitting .492 on the season. Asking if he can lay a bunt down, they say here in the booth.
I would want my coach to walk up to me and ask me how far I can hit
Well, that doesn't do much good for you, Nick.
it. I said I want him to. I didn't say that he did.
So the 0 pitch and the breaking ball, and he swings.
I think he
Oh, a very close call. They're on the half swing.
I don't think that umpire's in a great position to make that call.
No, I think the guy behind the plate's got to make that
Yeah.
call. And from where I'm sitting, I think it could have went both ways.
Yeah, it was a close one.
And the 1-0 pitch by Smith misses low. So he is, after a clean first inning, he's having trouble. He's giving up a run here in the bottom of the second. You'd love to see him to get out of this, maybe get some confidence back, and that one fouled back into the net. Him and his brother Bryson Smith, they have a lot of movement on their ball, and the velocity, I would say Bryson's was a little better than Braden's, but it's still there, and with that movement, it can be very deceiving.
Yeah, they're good spot guys, and they pitch around the zone and locate. So it's not all about velocity most of the time.
Well, and you watch Southern Miss go down to Georgia Southern the other weekend. 2 of their weekend starters were only topping out at 86.
Oh yeah,
and they swept him. That one drilled to right field, and that's going to at least score 1, and it's going to score 2. So a 2-out single by J.J. Parker, a very hard-hit single, and the Purvis Tornadoes take the lead here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's what you want if you're Tony Farlow, is for your team to come back and respond after giving up 2 in the top half.
With the exit velocity on that hit, just to get a single, if I ever hit a ball that hard, I would at least have to get 3 bags.
Yeah, I would say that I would have been on second base, maybe. I don't know.
So we are back. Bottom of the second inning, 3-2 game now. Purvis Tornadoes have come back and scored 3 runs after the Bobcats took the lead on a 2-run shot by Drew Davis. And that's just going to be what kind of game this is. And these coaches have coached in it for years and years now. It is honestly going to be who scored last,
Well, more than likely, Zane. You got to get Braden. He's just got to get in the dugout here, limit the damage that's already been done. We got some rain coming down.
Yeah, the rain is starting to fall here in Purvis, and that doesn't make it any easier when you're trying to find the strike zone. A special shout out here tonight. I just got a text message. Mr. Scott Hatton.
Scott Hatton.
Mr. Scott Hatton is a very, very awesome man, but if I'm never at a game, it is his fault. He is my boss, so
I think he should bring us a couple biscuits in the morning.
I think he should bring us a couple biscuits in the morning as well. Well, it looks like we're going to have a rain break. The tarp is coming out on the field here in Purvis. So we will be back whenever this game gets back rolling. This is Zane Berry, and you are listening to the Bobcat Baseball Network.